Chapter 7. Instructed by a Kung Fu Master. The next day, Grandma went to Chinatown in Oslo with me in her handbag. I looked out of the bag from the front and could see whatever Grandma could see. We came into a house with a yard where we met a Chinese old man. He had a white and long beard, looked old but very healthy, and he was practicing with a sword very slowly. Seeing Grandma, he saluted a Chinese salute and Grandma did the same. They greeted each other. Long time no see, they were happy in heart but calm in appearance. In the room, they were seated in old wooden chairs. Grandma put her handbag on the table between the chairs and took me out. Placing me on the table, she said, "Say hello to Grandpa." Except for Grandma, I had never talked to a person since I became a mouse. So I was very happy and said to him, "How do you do, Grandpa?" I had thought that he would have been very astonished, but actually, he laughed and the sound was like a bell. Then Grandma told him what had happened to me and why we were there. The old man nodded his head and thought. Then he said, "Animals are all good at Kung Fu. A lot of Chinese Kung Fu came from the imitating of animals, such as snake style, monkey style, mantis style, to name a few. Most animals are quick in movement. When animals of the same kind fight each other, those who are stronger and have a strong will win. Compared with humans, animals don't use weapons. They cannot increase their strength by doing exercises and choosing healthy food. As a mouse, if you want to beat the other mice or other little animals like a cat, a dog, first you must be stronger and second you need the right weapon." "That's great! I want to have a weapon." I clapped my hands and cried. The old man opened a side drawer of the square table and took out a little sword which was 2 inches long. He handed it to me and said, "Try it. A sword is a quick weapon. To fight animals without weapons, you only have to practice attacking." Then we left the room and went into the yard. Grandma put me on a stone table in the yard. The old man had a sword in his hand and showed how to attack in different ways. I followed him on the table with the little sword in my hand. I learned carefully and practiced again and again in real earnest. Soon I was good at attacking quickly. "Good," the old man said, "with the sword in hand, you will not be afraid of animals bigger than you, like a cat or a dog. As long as you stab the mouth or paw which is attacking you before it reaches your body, the animals will not hurt you. But it is unfair for you to fight a mouse with the sword. You must have enough strength and skill to throw a mouse to the ground or against a wall hard, so that it cannot get up again to attack you." He found a little bag of sand with the mouth tied up, which he put on the table. He said to me, "Try to hold it up and throw it on the ground." Do it again and again. I held the bag up with all my might, but when I threw it down to the table, I fell, too. "Ha ha ha, you have to increase your strength," said the old man. "But how?" I panted. "Wait a moment." With the words, he went into the room. After a while, he came back with a little bag. He took out a pinch of tiny millet and dropped it on the table. He said, "This kind of millet grow in Dezhou on the bank of Great Canal of China, where there was an important and prosperous harbor. Businessmen used a donkey pulling a cart to transport cargoes to and from places all around. The donkeys who had eaten this kind of millets had strength in their legs and traveled day and night while the driver slept in the cart. You want me to eat this kind of millet?" I asked. "Yes," he said. Hearing that, I felt the millet was marvelous and put some into my mouth. After a while, I was full of strength and must be able to do anything. So I raised the bag of sand and threw it to the table's surface heavily. Now I felt that the bag was not heavy any longer. I raised and threw the bag again and again, or I wrestled the bag to the table's surface. The old man instructed me to wrestle the bag in different ways. He also instructed me how to box and kick. I felt I was full of strength, which was fantastic. We stayed there for 3 days. Before we left, the old man said to me, "Now you have good Kung Fu, but don't use it unless you have to. 1 inch hiding your Kung Fu deeply gives you no harm but benefit. 1 inch Kung Fu is to protect yourself, not to bully others." What he said made Kung Fu more marvelous to me. I said happily, "I will remember what you said and follow it." We went home with the little sword, a bag of Dijon millets and the bag of sand for me to practice kung fu with. We were ready to go and find the Grand High Witch who had become a mouse.